Hi everyone, welcome back to Writing Tutorials. In today's video, we're diving into how to write a contract termination letter. This can be a tricky document to draft because it requires professionalism, clarity, and respect. I'll guide you through each part of the sample letter step by step, so you'll feel confident writing your own. Let's get started. Introduction. Setting the context. Let's begin with the sender's information, which is crucial. At the very top of the letter, you'll want to include your full name, job title, and company name, along with your address, phone number, and email address. This ensures that the recipient knows exactly who is initiating the termination and how to contact you if needed. For example, in our sample, Jackson Miller lists himself as the Director of Operations for Eagle Tech Solutions and provides his office address in Austin, Texas. By providing all this information up front, he establishes credibility and makes it easy for the recipient to identify the sender. Date and recipient's information. Next, you'll want to include the date of the letter. This step may seem minor, but it's essential for documentation purposes. Contracts often require termination notices to specify an exact date. Below that, add the recipient's details, just like you did for the sender. Include their name, title, company name, and address. In this case, the letter is addressed to Katherine Johnson, the managing partner of Visionary Designs, LLC. This shows professionalism and ensures the letter is directed to the right person. Subject line. Keep it direct. The subject line is a summary of the letter's purpose. It should be concise and clear, leaving no room for ambiguity. In our example, the subject line reads, Notice of Contract Termination. It's straightforward and immediately informs the recipient of the letter's intent. A well-crafted subject line can set the tone for the rest of the letter. Polite opening. Now let's move to the opening salutation and introduction. Start with a polite greeting, such as Dear Ms. Johnson, or the appropriate title for your recipient. Politeness is key in these letters because, while you're ending a business relationship, you still want to maintain goodwill. In the introduction, clearly state the purpose of the letter right away. For instance, Jackson writes, I am writing to formally notify you of the termination of the contract between Eagle Tech Solutions and Visionary Designs, LLC, effective December 31st, 2024. This sentence establishes the intent and provides the required notice period as per the contract terms. It's always a good idea to reference specific dates to avoid misunderstandings. Mention the termination clause. Next, mention the contract clause or agreement term that allows for termination. This reassures the recipient that the decision is in compliance with the contract. For example, the letter refers to Section 14 of the agreement, which requires a 30-day notice. By doing this, Jackson ensures that the recipient understands the decision aligns with legal and contractual obligations. If your contract has a specific clause, make sure to reference it to show that you've followed the proper procedure. Provide a reason for termination. It's also important to briefly explain the reason for termination, but keep it professional and positive. In this letter, Jackson writes, The reason for this termination is due to recent changes in our business strategy, which require us to focus on in-house services rather than outsourced collaborations. Notice how the explanation is respectful and avoids criticism. Jackson makes it clear that the decision is based on internal factors, not the quality of the recipient's work. Always aim to maintain respect and diplomacy, even when delivering difficult news. Commit to a smooth transition. Now let's talk about how to handle outstanding tasks and responsibilities. In our sample, Jackson reassures Katherine by stating, To ensure a smooth transition, we are committed to completing all current projects by the termination date. Additionally, any outstanding payments or deliverables will be settled prior to the contract's end. This section shows accountability and professionalism. It tells the recipient that the sender is willing to tie up loose ends and ensure the transition is as seamless as possible. If you're writing a termination letter, always address how you'll handle pending matters to reassure the other party. Encourage open communication. It's a good idea to let the recipient know that they can contact you if they have questions or concerns. Jackson writes, if there are specific steps or documentation required to close this agreement, please let us know, and we will address them promptly. This invitation for further communication demonstrates professionalism and leaves the door open for collaboration if needed. Always end with a willingness to cooperate. It reflects positively on you and your organization. Express gratitude. Before closing, express gratitude for the partnership. Even though the contract is ending, it's important to acknowledge the recipient's contributions. In this example, Jackson writes, thank you for the professional partnership we have enjoyed over the course of our agreement. We value the work Visionary Designs LLC has provided and wish you continued success in the future. This small gesture can go a long way in maintaining a positive relationship. Always end on a kind and respectful note. Sign-off and signature. Finally, wrap up the letter with a formal sign-off, such as sincerely or best regards, followed by your name, title, and signature. In the sample, Jackson includes his title as Director of Operations to reinforce his authority in making this decision. And that's it. Writing a contract termination letter may seem challenging, but by following this structure, you can ensure that your letter is professional, clear, and respectful. Remember to start with proper contact details and dates. Clearly state the termination and reference the contract terms. Provide a respectful explanation and commit to a smooth transition. Express gratitude and keep the tone professional. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Writing Tutorials. Share your thoughts or questions below. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, happy writing!